It was billed as the UK's biggest ever sporting event. It cost over £9 billion and took 7 years of planning and construction. And we're proud that Norse played a key role in delivering what is now acknowledged as the greatest ever games. Our involvement began 2.5 years ahead of the event through an approach to our security subsidiary, Event Guard. And their planning began almost immediately, for everything from staff recruitment to budgeting, finding and booking accommodation for hundreds of people, planning and delivering training, alongside dog handlers, in personal safety, and in every eventuality from legal issues to armed attacks. No security risk could be forgotten, no scenario could be unthinkable. But who first trusted us to take on such a responsibility?
We were invited to work on the Olympics as the partner of Mott MacDonald, the worldwide management, engineering and development consultancy. We'd worked with Mott's previously, and so they were able to vouch for our capability and experience in service delivery. When tendering for the construction of park and ride sites and all transport hubs close to the Olympic venues, Mott's realised their bid would be strengthened by having Norse on board from the outset.
And so began an epic journey, which intensified 5 months before the Games, when Event Guard began sourcing over 700 applicants, from which it vetted, selected and trained almost 400 personnel who'd work for 17 days at 18 Olympic venues across the south of England. Was Mott MacDonald pleased it chose Event Guard?
Not only were we provided with a full complement of staff, but their professionalism and, most importantly, their ongoing enthusiasm could not be faulted in any way. The manner in which they undertook a range of roles on site was a credit to Event Guard, and their interaction with the public directly led to some of the fantastic feedback we have received. We hope to work with you all again in the future.
Planning this far in advance had some rather significant challenges. Working with an agency like the ODA, there's just so many details. You start with the big and work to the little, and when I first started it just seemed like a never-ending pile of rather daunting tasks, to be honest. But slowly but surely, through the targets that were set, month in and month out, we hit hurdles, and before you knew it really we'd got most of the way through it, and it was just a matter of the operational deployment to worry about.
Don't forget, Event Guard was not just providing security for Park and Ride, but for a huge stretch of the torch relay too. Event Guard deployed no less than 100 marshals along 17 sections of the torch relay, covering a distance of 1,900 miles and liaising with no less than 7 local district councils. So how do you recruit and train the right people for such a unique job?
This was a really big campaign, and it took an entire HR team solidly for about 5 months working on it. We weren't allowed to use the word Olympics, which made it much harder. We were looking for enthusiasm, intelligence, personal, good customer skills, really our own normal recruitment mantra: recruit for attitude, train for skills.
Confidence was given by a series of training programs that was given to the staff. We made sure that all of them went through company induction, that they were given training programs by some third-party companies, for example Norfolk Constabulary, Special Branch, Counter-Terrorism. We also made sure that they were all deployed to events prior to the Olympics, so that they'd operated under our processes and procedures, under our management, and they knew exactly what we expected of them, how we expected them to turn out, what the standards were, so that come the first day of the Olympics it wasn't a complete surprise to them.
I had to go for 2 one-day courses. The first one was a road traffic course, which enabled me to work on the side of the road, which is what I was doing. And the second course was an anti-terrorist course, which they showed me devices, what to look for under cars, and basically anything to do with anti-terrorism, really.
Scores of emails and letters bear out the high levels of customer care the Event Guard team delivered. In the course of 17 days, they handled the transport needs of around 1.4 million people and received not one complaint. What were the personal and physical challenges of this operation?
Personal challenges, mostly than which I had over the period of the contract, were there were requests for changes within the contract, which meant that I had to move people around over a large geographical area, and I couldn't have done it without the support from HR, payroll and our finance systems within Norse.
We were determined where possible we would recruit locally, and I think the furthest afield we went in the end was Braintree. However, all our trainers were local, and where possible we put all our contracts out to local suppliers.
For many of these local recruits, it was the job of a lifetime.
Well, I stumbled across the actual job completely by accident, but then once we found out that we were going to be working for the Olympics, Obviously it was just something you couldn't turn down. So me and my best friend, we both worked at the Lakeside site, and we were at the Olympics and the Paralympics, and just like Wesley, I'd definitely do it again.
I did get my picture taken with that torch, Olympic torch. I met someone with the Olympic torch, I ran over, got my picture taken there, and where we stayed at the hotel, the person that won the gold medal, he won the shooting. He won the shooting, he actually went there to the hotel as well, so we got to see him there. So there were quite a few good memories there, and the food at the hotel was amazing. So.
The memories I've got from the Olympics were just, I don't think I'll ever forget them. Working with members of the public is something I've always enjoyed anyway, so it was brilliant.
I actually work for Event Guard still because I did enjoy it so much. I wanted to carry on doing it, and from there I got my SOA badge, and I'm still doing events for Event Guard, so it is all going well still.
I think the outstanding memory for me was being involved in perhaps the biggest event that this country's seen for many years, and I was a fundamental part of that and its success.
My most lasting memory will be after 2.5 years of planning, stepping foot on the first site on the first day, looking around and saying, yes, we've done it, we're here, we're operational. My second most prominent memory will be stepping off of the site on the 17th day, looking around and saying, we did a good job.
So where does Event Guard go from here?
Well, from here, due to the successes of the Olympic Games, we're well and truly in people's thoughts, which means we've been offered opportunities at the Commonwealth Games. We've also had a company called Sparrowhawk approach us about opportunities further afield. So, to be honest, the sky's the limit. We could go anywhere from here.
Working on Olympics 2012 alongside Mott MacDonald has been one of the most challenging logistical projects in the company's history, and we did it magnificently. Not only did we deliver what we promised, we coped with all manner of last-minute hitches, changes of requirements, the sudden need to supply far more personnel than in the original contract, and we did this professionally and with good humour. Our achievements at such a prestigious event have raised the profile of Norse and Event Guard in the eyes of some very influential names, which I am sure will lead to significant opportunities for our companies in the future.